Hey there guys, it's Silver, your host, and we are back with another simple Digivolution guide, and in this guide I am going to show you how to get a Ninjamon from your Palmon. Now, for best results, I would recommend a freshly Digivolved Palmon. We have a guide on the channel on how to acquire Palmon if you need it, but for now, take your freshly evolved Palmon and follow these steps. First of all, in terms of stat requirements, you will need at least 1000 MP, 100 attack, and 100 speed. You will also need a weight level of between 5 to 15, so this Palmon needs to be kept light, and for additional requirements you need to make one or less care mistakes. Ideally don't make any care mistakes while following this guide. I will explain those in just a moment. And an additional requirement to make sure you get Ninjamon, possibly the hardest of the bunch, make sure you have had at least 15 battles with wild Digimon. So, I'll be back in just a moment. We'll begin some light training, and I will explain to you the importance of care mistakes for this guide. One moment, I'll be right back. Care mistakes, what are they, and how do they impact Digivolution? As I've said in many of these guides before, they are not feeding your Digimon when it is hungry, letting them go to the toilet on the floor instead of taking them to a toilet, and not letting them sleep when they are tired. If you do any of those three things, it classifies as a care mistake, and you will be locked out of your Digivolution of choice if there are requirements behind it. So, we're going to work on the attack stat a bit here. It's a bit low. Also, a quick heads up for those of you who are wondering about the stats I mentioned earlier. If you so wish, you can raise some of your other stats above 100. I would not recommend it because it may conflict with other Digivolutions, but if you so wish, you can bring your brain stat above 100 and it shouldn't have any additional impacts because of the priority order of Digivolutions for this line. It's all very complicated stuff, but basically there's a list of Digimon that your rookie can Digivolve into, and the higher up that list a Digimon is, the more likely it is to be Digivolved into if you hit the requirements. One of these Digimon is Waymon, and it is lower on the list than Ninjamon, so you should be okay to keep your brain stat above 100, but for the sake of avoiding other Digivolutions, keep your HP stat, definitely your HP stat, below 1000. Otherwise, you run the risk of getting a different Digimon. Anyway, I'm going to keep training and give you an update in just a moment. We are back with our Palmon, and our stats look like this now. We are almost on the required speed stat, and we will soon be reaching the offense stat as well. We may have to lower Palmon's weight ever so slightly, just to make sure it stays comfortably between 5 and 15, but I'll show you a good tip for that in a moment. Right, now, our Palmon needing to go to the toilet will bring the weight down naturally, and you can also feed food to Palmon that has a smaller weight gain, like regular sized meat. If you only have the larger meat farms available, you can always go to the general shop in town if you have it unlocked, and get yourself regular sized meat for 50 bits. We are back. Our Palmon's stats are where they need to be now, minus the weight. We will fix that in just a moment. We need them exactly where they are, here, just about. So, more than 100 offense, more than 100 speed, more than 1000 MP as well. Like I said, the only thing we have to do now, we've not made any care mistakes, we just have to adjust the weight above 5, which can be done through force feeding sirloins, so that isn't a problem, that doesn't count as a care mistake. And the 15 battles is the hard bit for Ninjamon, the additional requirement. Thankfully, with stats like these, we can quite easily go up to a Madoki Betamon out front of Vile City and just go in for a fight. Now, Palmon has a really, really fast hitting starting attack called Poison Claw. As you can see, does a lot of damage, and it poisons. It's the fastest move in the game. And you tend to find faster moves are more effective than more powerful, slow-hitting moves. So, every time you win a battle, my awesome people, I would like you to make a note on your phone or on a notepad app. Or perhaps a bit of paper and a pen, if you're like me and you do things old school. Keep count of how many battles that you've had. Get to at least 15 or 16 for good measure. And then you should absolutely, without fail, provided you have your weight up to at least 5, get yourself a Ninjamon. So I will return to you a bit later on for the Digivolution. Until then, keep battling until you're at 15 battles. It might seem a bit long and tedious, but it has to be done. Hitting the additional requirement will make sure you get Ninjamon. So we'll be back very soon. One last essential thing that you need to do to ensure that this guide works is that you also have to lower your Palmon's happiness level below 50%. This is because if you don't, its happiness requirement will clash with another Digimon, and it will digivolve into Vegimon, because Vegimon has a bonus requirement of 50 happiness or more, and because it's higher up in the priority order for Digivolution, you will always get it first. Therefore, you need to constantly scold your Palmon, get the happiness down, and it has to be probably in the high end of the red bar. This is to prevent it from digivolving into Vegimon. So whenever the bar gets back into the yellow, be sure to scald down into the red. Like so. About here should do it, and you should be alright. So stop while it's about 3/4 of the way into the red, and you should be fine. Good. And there we have it, guys. We have our Ninjamon. Marvellous. So, to those of you who have found this guide useful, please feel welcome to leave a like and sub. We have several Digimon World playthroughs on the channel and an entire list of Digivolution guides, as well as a ton of retro video game content for you to enjoy. And we live stream 4 nights a week as well, so plenty to enjoy. A special thank you to all of you who've stopped in, and an extra special thank you to all of our channel members and silver patrons at the time of this video. Mr. Jonathan, Reese Free, Jay, Kota Okami, Tutorials de Julio, and Jacob the Dabbler. It is very much appreciated. Press that join button if you want to become part of our community, or head over to Silver Gaming Network on Patreon so that you can support us over there. Not at all essential, but very much appreciated. And your viewership is fantastic. So, to those of you who've stopped in, you've all been super awesome, and thank you very much for stopping in. And I will, of course, see you in the next one. So, guys, I have been Silver, your host. Have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or night, and I will see you again very soon. Take care, guys.